Good evening, Cottonwood Valley followers. It's Matt out here on the 3rd of July. Tomorrow's the 4th of July, but it is a warm day out here at the farm with Dad. We are getting ready to lay plastic so we can plant pumpkins this weekend. We got about 1,200 pumpkins outside the greenhouse that I started as seedlings. So we're gonna lay about, 5,000 feet of plastic tonight. We're gonna do 5-row blocks, about 325 feet long each of them, 7 feet apart. So we've got this Farmall C out here. You've seen this in the garden video. It's all the same, but laying 3-foot wide plastic. We're gonna have the drip tape going into it. So we thought it was important to make a video tonight to show you the progress on the pumpkins. Pumpkins is how this whole operation started last year with about 100 pumpkin plants total. So we're going a little bit more involved in it this year, and time to get out to the field. We have a short window. It sounds like rain, a couple days off, so we might even be out tomorrow morning, early on the 4th of July, planting pumpkins. We'll see, but follow along and see how it's done. Okay, what are you getting prepped back here?
Getting ready to put the drip tape in so we can start laying plastic.
Right here's the vegetable patch. All of this unworked ground you see is probably gonna be pumpkins. Okay, we're at 7 of about 15 rows in the ground, but we just ran out of drip tape, so time to reload the drip tape. We just put a new roll of plastic on, so get that taken care of. And once you kind of get in the groove, it's going pretty quick out through there. Just kind of repetitive motion. Some spots where water's run across this ground and it's pretty hard. You can hear the tractor bite in, but we're gonna get more drip tape on and get going. I believe so, right?
Yeah.
Whew.
All right.
Good?
Yep.
There you have it, 15 rows in for the pumpkins, about 320 feet on each of them, so about 5,000 feet of plastic in tonight. What do you think?
Oh, let's put the pumpkins in and get rolling.
So I think tomorrow morning we're gonna be out early, beat the heat, get the pumpkins transplanted in, and that'll be the next part of the video. Good morning, Cottonwood Valley followers. It's Matt out here on Friday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July to everybody. But we just got the transplanter loaded up out here. I think we're planting 6 varieties of pumpkins today, 16 trays worth. So 16 times 72, whatever that is. Quite a few pumpkins going in. Got Mom and Dad out here this morning. My wife and daughter coming out, and my sister and her son I think will be out here later. So gonna get these rolled in. It's about 9:30 in the morning, a little later than we wanted to start, but dealing with some insect pressure and some things. So time to get on the water wheel and get planting. Okay, we're headed out to the field. Got Mom here next to me. These first 3 trays are a Jilby Little pumpkin. They're a short, kind of bushier type pumpkin, but they're the ones that make what I call the hockey puck ones. Little half-pound, round ones, just very decorational. So that's what the first 2 trays are. That's 216 of them. Mom's trying to juggle them in her hand, getting out to the field.
Giving them some love.
They need some love. They're hard getting out of these trays. The cucurbit family does not like being transplanted and pulled out of trays. They've got vigorous roots that really hold on and tender vines. So we just gotta be careful with them, especially on these little varieties. Once we get into some of the bigger pumpkins up here, the stems and vines are a lot thicker, hopefully a little easier to get out of the trays as we're going down through the field. And the other thing is you go to reach for one and all of a sudden they're tangled together. So anyways, headed to the field. We laid this plastic last night. Gonna get started, get the first of them in. Okay, quick update as we're filling up for the second tank of water this morning. Mom and Dad pulling them, having to pull them from the tray because the roots are just not wanting to release quick enough out of the trays out there in the field without just pulling the plants apart. So not gonna lie, we got, I think, 3 rows in already, and it's kind of been a rough morning out there, so we haven't done a whole lot of filming, but sun's out, the wind's out, not overly ideal, but you got to get them in the ground. It's the 4th of July, and you never know if you don't get them planted. Okay, well, we got about 5 rows planted. That's about 1/3 of the field. It was a challenging morning out here for the 4th of July. Now I'm gonna scramble, get some irrigation going, especially the small pumpkins. They're pretty small, pretty weak plants that do not like the sunshine. So luckily we've had some cloud cover move in and help them out, but I think it's in my best authority to get some water out to them this afternoon and this evening. Okay, next quick update of the day. It is about 1:40 in the afternoon. I've run the main irrigation line that'll tee off of our regular garden spot all along out through here. So that's 1-inch orchard tubing so we can get water pumped into these rows. This ground was vibra-shanked for me maybe a week ago, and you can just see how dry everything is in it. And that's what we planted those pumpkins into, kind of these big clods. It rode up nice and made a great row, but that water would go in from the water wheel and just disperse amongst the ground there on that hard pan underneath it. So soaking it with water. Actually, you can see Dad way out there using the tanks on the water wheel and just a hose going down through there, adding just a little bit of water to every hole right now. It got a lot hotter than we expected today, and just trying to make the best of it. This is one of those days where you're reminded that not every day is a great day to be farming out here, and it seems to be a challenging one, but we're gonna persevere through it. We'll get on with it, and just it seems like every time we get something done, there's about 3 more things that need done. So we'll push through, and I'll keep you updated throughout the process. Just trying to give them a little bit more of a drink. Down here on this end of the field, you can actually see it's still kind of wet there from the water wheel, but just planted it into some very dry soil here, and trying to make the best of it. We didn't vlog last year growing pumpkins, but we grew about 150 pumpkin plants, and we did what Dad's doing here for how many nights do you think we did that?
Probably 2 weeks.
Every night for 2 weeks with just a big tote out in a trailer, bringing water to them just to get the roots established, help with the transplant shock and going through. But as you can tell, they're not overly happy plants right now, so we'll see in a couple days. I'm really hoping it's clouded up, really hoping the rain opens up. That's why we hurried and did it today, is we know there's rain on the way. So hopefully in the next couple days we get a good rain out here, and that would just solve a lot of problems for us. Back here at the pump site, you can probably hear it running there in the background. that is my Harbor Freight 1-inch pump, but we're pumping water out of the well right here, down a hose, into this tote. This is the water coming from the well. That's a 3/4 inch line, so we use this tote kind of as a buffer out here, and then we're using a 1-inch line pumping out. We have 5 rows of 325 feet of drip tape, and here's a little bit of math, and I had to cheat and use the calculator before this, but each row is 325 feet. Every 100 foot of this drip tape at 15 psi puts out 0.45 gallons per minute. So with that, we should be putting out about 7.5 gallons a minute. I know my well is filling at 10 gallons a minute into this tub, so we should be able to keep this full and actually a little bit over full on it, which is good, and let the pump just hum away. Over on my injector, I have a pressure gauge on it. It's telling me we're putting about 18-20 psi to that spot, and that's where I have my pressure regulator that puts it out to the field at 15 psi. Because a lot of these fittings are fairly weak. The drip tape's only 8 mil plastic, so you put too much pressure out and you can definitely blow it apart. But that's where we're at. We're getting water out to the pumpkins. It's now 2:45. We've been out here since 8:30 this morning. It's been a long day in the heat on the 4th of July. Hopefully now we can just let the pump run, find some shade for a little bit, and go from there. Down here at the far end of the field, I've got the pump that's right over there, being fed from a well over there, running about a 500-foot loop to come back down to these individual ropes. Got the drip tape going, and as you can see there, it just kind of seeps. That's what drip tape's supposed to do. You can kind of see it running out there. But what I want that to do on these first 5 rows is just sit there and build up really the mud in these beds, because the plastic mulch really keeps a lot of that humidity, that moisture underneath it, so it lasts a long time. But as dry as it was when we laid the plastic last night, we need to get some moisture under there. So gonna let the pup run for a couple hours here, hopefully, maybe even be out early tomorrow morning, and just keep the moisture coming to him. Dad's been watering all the plants individually. They're, seeing a little bit of life in them, but not much. But it's wet down in there, so we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens. Best thing would be shade and a drink from Mother Nature. I think we're about to call it a day, and it's been a long one. I've been out here since 9. You've been out here, you went home for maybe, what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, an hour maybe.
Hour in the middle of the day, but what all have we done today?
We've planted a little over 1,000 pumpkin plants, set them all in. We've watered them again. We've hooked up the drip tape to them. So we've did everything we can. It's hot and it's windy here.
Yeah. I think we calculated in the last 3 or 4 hours, we've given them about 1,600 gallons of water out through the field here, and it's about all we can do. So thanks for following along. There'll be more planting over the next few days. We'll see what we film, what we don't film, but lots going on. And if you haven't come by the farmers market yet to see us, come by and see us. We're there usually on Saturdays and Wednesday nights. So have a good one.